Hello, you motorcycle enthusiasts. Today, we're going to take apart the carburetor of the Kawasaki EN500 together. As always, I'll show you how to do it using one chamber. The other side is built identically, so you can handle that on your own. In case you're wondering, your EN500 has a chrome-plated cover above the diaphragm, but in this video, you'll see a black plastic cover in that spot. That's because this video is from the carburetor of a GPZ500. It's built identically from a technical standpoint, which is why we just used it again here. Of course, I found and linked all the right parts for the EN500 for you in the video description. Before we get started, let's first take a look at what tools we'll need. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver in size PH2. Then I have here various sizes of flathead screwdrivers, a small punch, a small but strong flashlight, an open-end ring spanner in size 8 mm, an open-end ring spanner in size 12 mm, and a small needle nose pliers. And of course, we've already set out a proper repair kit here. One more important note, please make sure to take a quick look at the video description. If I forget to mention something or if any additional information about your carburetor comes up later, I can add it there. You'll also find in a video description an email address for a professional to whom you can send your carburetor for ultrasonic cleaning. Another question that often comes up, does the carburetor guy actually make money from this? That's the cool thing, when you buy the repair kits from the video description using the affiliate links. You're supporting our channel's maintenance and growth. Plus, you're buying from a shop with fast shipping and fantastic reviews. Let's get started with disassembling the choke. The choke here has a shared actuator, and we need to take that apart now. There's a spring back here, which is hard to see from this angle. This one here is hooked in, and I'm going to unhook it now. Now you can lay the diverter down, and you need to loosen and remove these two Phillips screws here. Please make sure that there's a plastic washer behind each one. I'll show you in a second. Specifically, there's a plastic washer directly behind the screw. It's this one here. And of course, it's the same on this side too. And now, these washers are also right behind the choke slide itself. They're there to make sure everything slides smoothly. Wait a second, it's already slipped down here. Oh right, we still need to remove the plug. Otherwise, we won't be able to take out the choke slide here. It's really in there tight, I just noticed. Alright, now you lift the choke slide up and you have to thread it off the respective choke pistons. Can you see that? Can you see that? Fantastic. And then you can thread it out upwards here. There you go. And now, please also remove the two plastic washers that are sitting underneath here. Same thing on this side. Here's the spring I mentioned. You can of course take that off too. Take off the washer, take off the spring. And then we can get started with the carburetor. One very important note, for example, here's the mount for the choke cable. If you don't want to try to remember where everything is mounted, just take a few pictures all around. That's easy to do these days. Alright, let's get started. I'm going to remove the choke plunger here. For that, you'll need a 12 mm open-end wrench. Sometimes you might need to be a little creative when positioning the wrench. Be careful. Sometimes a pair of needle nose pliers works pretty well too. There, it's loose. Now you just unscrew it. There's not much space here. It's a bit hard to reach, but usually it's not on very tight. Now that we've loosened it, you can pull out the choke plunger and set it aside. That's this part, and now we'll continue with the float chamber. To open the float chamber, you need to loosen and completely remove these 4 Phillips screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once the 4 screws are out, you can lift the float chamber cover straight up. This is what it looks like, and it definitely needs a new gasket. Next, we'll move on to the float itself. The float sits here on a small axle, on a pin, and we push this pin out with this pin punch, which I use with a small drift like this. This is the pin. Using a pin punch like this works well, because now the float is still sitting right here. Now I can remove this and pull the float straight up. The float needle valve is attached to the float, right there. And it's hanging here on this little metal tab. And you can simply pull it off forward. The small wire clip just fits through here so you can take it off. Next up is the main jet. It's located up here in the jet holder. For the jet holder, you'll need an 8mm open-end ring spanner. Since I know there's a new main jet in the repair kit, I'm going to unscrew this one completely now. This is the main jet, and then I loosen the jet holder with the 8mm open-end ring spanner. And I also unscrew it completely. That's what it looks like, yep. And next, you'll remove the idle jet from this opening here. Please use a screwdriver that fits well, wide enough to just fit in, and press down a little for the initial pressure. Oh, here we have it already. Here you go. This is the idle jet. If you use a tool that's too small, you can damage the little slot here in the brass, and then you won't be able to get it out anymore. That would really be a disaster. In the next step, we'll unscrew the idle mixture screw. That's this one here. If you want, you can carefully screw it in and count how many turns it goes in. That way, you'd have the setup you've been running with so far. But of course, there's also a basic setting for this screw after cleaning and reassembly. As always, I'll write that for you in the video description as well. Alright, the screw is unscrewed. What's the cat doing? We're getting a book here right now. This is what the screw looks like. So, after a short interruption, we're continuing. So this is the idle mixture screw. There's also a spring, a washer, and an O-ring on this screw. And that stayed in here now. That happens quite often. I've bent a little wire hook out of a paperclip here. And now we're going to play a little fishing game with it in here. So first, we've got, wait a second, I always need a second hand for this. But now, first the spring, and now down here we've still got, both came out at once, a washer and an O-ring. I'll lay them out for you here again. This is the correct assembly order, the idle mixture screw, the spring, the washer, and the O-ring. Let's continue with the vacuum cover. You need to loosen and completely unscrew these 1, 2, 3, 4 Phillips screws. It's important to hold the cover down a bit while doing this. I'm doing that here with my finger because I know there's a spring underneath. The 4 screws are out. Now you can lift the cover straight up. Sometimes it also sticks a little to the membranes. This is what the cover looks like. This little tab is there to hold the spring in place, so the spring stays positioned. You can now just take the spring out here. And this component, which almost came out just now but not quite, it holds the needle in position. Now I'm pushing the slider out from below. You should take this opportunity right away. Once you have it out, to check the membrane, just hold it up to the light and see if there are any cracks or small holes. This is what the whole thing looks like. And if you turn it over, this mentioned plastic holder and the part-load needle will fall out here. The holder keeps the needle and the spring in position. Again, the holder, and so the whole thing forms the construction of the slider here. And now there's only one thing left to do. If you look in here, let's take a look inside, Please, if you look in there, you can see something sticking out. Look, a small brass part. That's the atomizer head from the main jet's nozzle tube, and please push that out downwards as well. There we go, and with that, we're done with the disassembly. I hope the video was helpful and that you enjoyed it. I'd appreciate a thumbs up and a subscription from you, and I wish you lots of fun with your project. See you in the next video. Bye.